Welcome to Rock Club's record album review of The Smiths' Meat is Murder. My name is Kevin Z, and I am a lifelong musician and music fan. Now, I'd like to think that I've gained some musical wisdom over my 50 years of listening to, performing, and studying music from among my many favorite artists. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my Rock Club channel, as I intend to review another monumental album each week. Now, I grew up with classic rock bands like Kiss, Boston, and Led Zeppelin. I watched as new wave bands like Duran Duran hit big on MTV and shows like Friday Night Videos. I witnessed the evolution of 80s alternative rock, hair metal, and the rise of grunge. So I'll give you my perspective on epic rock albums spanning across these years. I hope I can pass some of this knowledge along to my daughters, Sky and Ava, whose playlist includes tunes from my album collection. And another inspiration has been folks from work who heard my playlist for the first time and they asked, who are these bands? These are awesome. Tell me more about them. So I'm hoping that Gen Z can benefit from my knowledge of these great artists and bands. I'm reviewing artists' albums in their formatted order as they were originally intended to be listened to. So keep in mind, these are my opinions. So feel free to comment, agree, or disagree. So flashback to 1985. The music scene was absolutely booming and it was very diverse. You had MTV leading the charge with music videos backing these hits by artists like Tears for Fears, Madonna, Sting, and that silly little animated video for Money for Nothing by the Dire Straits. They kept playing that thing over and over and over around the clock. But across the pond in Great Britain, there was some very important alternative rock music being created. Now, artists in this genre weren't always played on MTV or radio stations in the US. Their releases could be found in the import section of record stores back in the day. One of my favorite record stores was Northern Lights in downtown Minneapolis. Now, it was always exciting. It was always an exciting adventure to jump into the car and head downtown with some friends to buy some new music. Now, Northern Lights was always spinning vinyl when you walked through the front door. They would place the record cover next to the sign at the front saying "Now Playing" up above, and the record cover right there. And that's where I discovered the magic of the Smiths, because I was hooked the minute I heard that hypnotic guitar intro to the song How Soon Is Now. What struck me first was the guitar, the playing, the tone, the sound was incredible. That guitar player is Johnny Marr. He was the 80s alternative music version of Jimmy Page. But who was the alternative version of Robert Plant, you ask? Well, he was none other than Morrissey, with a voice uniquely his own and the ability to make you believe in what he was singing about and the amazing ability to make you feel what he was singing about. He was angry. Was he angry? Was he sad? Was he feeling mischievous? For the legion of 80s shoegazers, that's what they were called back then, that Morrissey became their hero. Morrissey, his unique talent combined with Marr's musical ability made the Smiths the stuff of musical legend. Now, this album recorded partly in Marr's Earl's Court flat together with bassist Andy Rokk and drummer Mick Joyce. The band's second full album, Meat is Murder, would garner the band much attention across the pond in the USA. The album opens with the lush song, The Headmaster Ritual. From the intro, you are immediately enveloped in the incredible musical layers that the Smiths would become famous for. Marr puts a wonderful bed of guitars on the track, including acoustic strumming, melodic electric chorus affected picking, while Andy Rokk provided a smooth flanger affected running bass line. Here Morrissey sings the story of his time in a brutal boarding school. Is it fact or fiction? I'm not sure, but Morrissey portrays it as this demeaning and intimidating and nonetheless, and you feel his discomfort at being bullied. His passionate singing is emphasized by a very cool delay effect on his multi-tracked vocal yodeling riffs. Track 2, side 1, is the up-tempo Russell Ruffians. Here, Morrissey with his lyrics and the band with their soundtrack are great at painting a picture in the listener's mind of what a dramatic young teenager being in love while attending the fair. What emotional young teenager wouldn't be able to relate to this story? I might walk home alone, but my faith in love is still devout. Marr mixes in some sound effects that sound like a rusty whirling waltzer mechanical ride to boot. Track 3, side 1 is an up-tempo song, I Want the One I Can't Have. It again shows the musical genius of Johnny Marr. The lush guitar tones and climbing chord arrangements are pure genius. Morrissey sings of a love that he yearns for but can't have. Track 4, side 1 is the emotional What She Said. It has a very cool triplet rhythm about it and this great bass line from underappreciated band member Andy Rokk, who was basically the third permanent member of the Smiths. They went through a few drummers. The band plays furiously behind descriptive Morrissey lyrics about a woman pining over her troubled love life. Track 5, side 1 is the mellow and reflective That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore. Here Morrissey takes us deep into his brooding world. Is it a liaison with a lover? Park the car by the side of the road. You must know tides will smother you. The guitar swirls around with this amazing effect as only Johnny Marr can do it. His originality in guitar work is absolute genius. Track 1, side 2, in the US release of Meat is Murder, that is the band's iconic song, How Soon Is Now. Now, this song was originally released as a single in the UK, as the band was rather prolific at releasing singles, with it brilliantly being added to the US pressings of the Smiths' second full album. They must have did it late because it doesn't even show up on the back cover of the album, but it is on the vinyl. So they got How Soon Is Now starting side 2. Now, from Marr's amazing guitar intro to Morrissey's intro line, I am the sun, I am the air, of a shyness that is criminally vulgar, I am the sun and air. You were mesmerized by this song immediately. This song became the anthem for shoegazers in the UK and across the pond. If you were a teenager and felt misunderstood and that life seemed hopeless at times, then this was a song that really spoke to you. There's these amazing guitar effects and production. Marr's guitar tones would become stuff of legend amongst guitar aficionados. What's also a bit lost in this equation is that this is a very danceable tune and was played at many nightclubs throughout the late 80s and still spun regularly by DJs today. Track 2, side 2 is an upbeat shuffle of the song Nowhere Fast. It has what I like to call the train beat by Mike Joyce on drums. Not so ironically, Morrissey describes a train going by in his lyrics. And when a train goes by, it's such a sad sound. Ooh. Marr and his excellent production work even pump in some sound effects. He also ties in multi-tracks of layered guitar fills that make this another great tune from the album. Track 3, side 2 is the lushly beautiful Well, I Wonder. Laying on a bed of Marr's 12-string strumming, the song slowly unfolds and builds. Here, Morrissey displays his vocal range as well with his falsetto vocal runs, which he uses to great effect. Towards the end of the song, you hear the sound of rain start to fall. Perfect ambiance for this, a very sad song. Track 4, side 2 is the up-tempo Barbarism begins at home. Only the Smiths could make a dance song with lyrics about child abuse. Morrissey was unafraid to address darker subjects that shed the light on the more seedy side of civilization. Hey, that's a cool band name. If you use it, don't forget to give me credit for it. But anyway, I'd like to touch a bit about the feuding that has surrounded Morrissey and the Smiths. The first being his fallout with Johnny Marr and the band's failure to ever rejoin for a reunion tour. It's Johnny who left the Smiths. He was forced into being the band's manager among songwriting and production duties, and it had all become just too much for him, he said in interviews. He also took a stance against Morrissey's conservative views during the whole Brexit chapter in Great Britain. Now, also Morrissey and Robert Smith of The Cure, they traded barbed words back and forth in the 80s and beyond, but have since accepted apologies and buried the hatchet. Guys, quit your bitching. So finally, track 5, side 2 is the title track, Meat is Murder. If you weren't aware of Morrissey's stance on vegetarianism, then you will be definitely after you listen to this song. Haunting is the only word I can use to describe this song. The song is intricately constructed along with intermingled guitar melodies. Marr also plays piano on this song. Morrissey proclaims, "This beautiful creature must die. This beautiful creature must die. A death for no reason, and death for no reason is murder. Do you know how animals die?" The song is a crossover to goth rock in some respects, and the sound effects, especially of the cow mooing and the saw buzzing, are particularly chilling. Quite the bookend to an unforgettable album. So the Smiths' Meat is Murder broke the band through in the United States, and although it may not be their best-selling album, it has been listed among the Rolling Stones' 500 greatest albums of all time. It is my favorite Smiths album, as it was a soundtrack for my trench coat wearing, shoegazing high school years. So thanks for tuning in, and look for more Rokk Club record album reviews in the near future. Peace.